Hello, welcome to the stream.
Hi.
Okay, I need to start spamming buttons to get this to start going. Because I have not tried Dungeon for Trico in a while, so...
I can't open home. I have it open on my Switch.
Oh no! I forgot they do that they really don't want you having it open on multiple devices. I guess it makes sense, like... They wouldn't be able to track what you're doing on the multiple devices, but it always surprises me. You know, I don't think I've ever had that happen with, like, any other thing I have on both, like, my, say about, like, my phone and my computer. I don't think there's ever been a moment I've been trying to open something that I have on my phone that's also available on my computer. But for some reason, with, like, Pokemon Home on my Switch and on my phone, I am constantly trying to be on both at the same time. I really don't understand how that happens. I really hope this Trico shines, like, soon. That would be a nice little entry, I guess, entry to the new year for the channel, even though we're almost at the end of January. Not even almost, we are at the end of January. February starts this weekend.
Trading comes out in Pocket tomorrow.
Say that again?
Trading comes out in Pocket tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't realize that wasn't already in the game.
Yep, the trading card game finally has trading.
Yeah, I would have assumed that was in by default.
Well, TCG Online doesn't have trading, so...
Why? What? How does that get left out?
They have like a credits system where you crush duplicates of cards to make credits that you can turn into other cards.
Okay, sure.
I don't understand why you couldn't just trade them though.
Yeah, that definitely makes more sense than just trading in the, as you said, trading card game.
Yes.
Oh wait, I just got a pop-up on my phone saying like, hey, did you know? Shiny Manaphy? It always feels like it's so late, but I think, like, for anybody else that doesn't have essentially you messaging me the second the new updates are out about shinies, that this would be like a normal time to get that information.
Yeah. I said it like 10 minutes after it happened.
And I didn't see it for, admittedly, a while, but that's just because I was not, like, anywhere near Discord at the time. Yeah, I didn't respond until almost 3 p.m.
Yeah.
In my defense, we are still doing a lot of, recovery stuff from Milton, so... I have a patio, though. That's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, the tree was removed admittedly a while ago, but, it left me without a screen on the patio, and the roof was not properly a roof. But they fixed it! So now I have an actual patio with a roof and everything. And a screened-in fence. It's quite nice. I did not realize how much I missed it. It does mean I've been cleaning it a lot, though, because there was, you know, just a little tree, debris left on it.
BDSP Pokédex is 150, by the way.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
They don't have the national dex for it.
Weird, because there's definitely a lot of Pokemon that are, like, national dex, like, expectations for that game, I guess? I don't really know how else to word it. Like, there's just so many Pokemon that are so strongly associated with that region that you don't really get in that region.
I thought Skarmory was Gen 5 for a good while.
Really? I hear a lot of people think it's Gen 3. That Gen 5 is a new one. Because, yeah, Johto has this problem where you can't actually catch Johto Pokemon in Johto, and Skarmory is one of those. But the fact that it's actually...
every single Eevee.
Oh no! Well... You're gonna be getting a lot of evolution stones, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then good luck with the time of day. Good luck with the time of day stuff for Espeon and Embryon. Honestly, those end up being the most, like, not complicated, but, like, tedious to get at this point. Just because you have to, like, run around with them until they actually get to the maxed out friendship.
You can't like friendship them somehow.
I mean, I can't remember. Can't remember if the remakes have the, like, massage person. Was that a thing in Gen 4? Or am I thinking of a different generation?
I don't know what that is.
There's a person that will, like, give your Pokemon a massage, essentially. Like, you can take your Pokemon to, like, the spa, and it'll increase their friendship with you. It doesn't max it out, so you have to do it, like, multiple days in a row in order to get maxed out friendship with a Pokemon, but that was a thing in older generations. My issue is I'm wondering if this is actually true, because I cannot trust my memory right now. I'm remembering it as being, like, the guy who does, like, the footprint stuff. There's a girl in that same house, and I think she massages the Pokemon's feet as well. Like, essentially, it's just a foot house, is what is in my memory right now. Is there's a memory where
That's
one
Heart Gold
guy...
and Soul Silver, isn't it?
I don't remember. That's my problem. I don't know if this is either fake or if I'm thinking of a different generation. Because I just remember there being just a house in Pokemon that there's just two people in it, and both of them will talk to you about your Pokemon's feet in one way or the other. And it's
I'm
a
like
very
90% sure it's HGSS.
I don't know. I would have if you had asked me previously, I would have said that was the game where your Pokemon got haircuts to raise their friendship, and not the massage.
Haircuts. I've never heard of that either.
Yeah, there's a guy in, I think it's the, like, underground tunnel thing, where your Pokemon can get, like, haircuts. It doesn't actually, like, visually change them at all, it just raises friendship. But it is a thing you can do. I don't think I ever actually got any use out of it. I think I did it once, and then was just like, oh, that was a waste of, like, however much money, and then just never did it again. Who knows, maybe there is, like, multiple people who do that stuff in those games. So maybe there is, like, the haircut and the foot massage person. I don't know. They just always make the friendship mechanics so strange in these games. Like, the way to, like, manually increase it. I just know for almost every Pokemon game where I've needed to max out a Pokemon's friendship that didn't have, like, the little, like, beans or the, essentially cupcakes, I would just run up and down the same road in a town for, like, 5 hours straight. Because I have played so many Gen 4 games now. Like, admittedly, most of it has been Shining Pearl, but I've done this in Platinum too, where I wanted to have a Roselia before the first gym, so I just caught a Badoo in the first area and just ran up and down Jubilife for like 5 hours until the thing had enough steps to evolve. It never got better. I have done that for at least 4 different Badoo now. I've hated it every single time, but at the same time I was stubborn enough to just keep going. But the time I hated it the most, I was playing a copy of Shining Pearl, where I was like, this is like my 3rd time playing this game. I'm gonna play it in Japanese to make it a challenge, because I do not speak any Japanese whatsoever. I cannot read this language in the slightest. So I was like, that'll be a fun challenge. I have to, like, remember what all my Pokemon moves are. I have to remember, like, the animations to figure out what, like, attacks my opponent have and stuff. So I just thought that would be, like, a fun little, like, twist on the game. And I did, again, I caught a Badoo, and I was like, dang it, if this game's gonna be harder, I really need a Roselia on this team. So then I spent so long, I spent my full evening just running up and down, like, watching YouTube and just trying to evolve this Badoo. And it finally evolves, and I'm like, great! And then I realize, oh, it's got a modest nature, it's got a higher, like, heightened special attack. That's awesome! I'm gonna try to fight, like, a handful of Badoo to level up this thing's special attack with, like, EVs. Just a little bit, nothing crazy, because I know, like, proper EV training... EV. Proper, like, EV training would take forever. So I was like, I'm only gonna try to get, like, a couple points just to, like, steer me in the right direction for the beginning of the game. First Badoo I encounter after that, shiny. And
Wow.
I was like, whoa, awesome! Oh no, I have to do this all over again. But man, I did it again! So I did end up getting that, that shiny Roselia as well, so now I just have 2, in that game. And then I think that burns me out of the challenge, honestly, because I made it, I think I'm at, like, the 2nd gym. I think I just got so tired playing that game that, like, I played it for, like, 1 more day and then was like, that's enough for now. And then I just haven't gone back to it.
The only Nuzlocke I've ever played to completion is the one that we did.
Yeah, I think technically I have two if I count the ones where I actually kept the Nuzlocke rules, and one of them was the violet one. Because I've done the Shining Pearl Nuzlocke and I've done the Violet Nuzlocke, but I've also done a Nuzlocke in White 2 that became a normal playthrough after my Leavanny died because she was like absolutely carrying the team. The most random Pokemon to carry my team, but she was incredible. And then she got one shot by the most. I don't even know. I don't even think it was a super effective move. She just got one shot by something random. And I was just like, oh, well, you could not force me to stop using her on my team now. So the game just continued as a regular playthrough. And then I've also done a couple Platinum Nuzlocks. Every single time I reset the game before I made it to, like... I don't even think I made it to the second gym. I don't even think I ever actually fought Gardenia in any of my Nuzlocks for Platinum. I know I've attempted other ones. I know I've attempted, like, two separate ones for Sword. I think I started one. I think my first playthrough of Shield was supposed to be a Nuzlocke, and then I gave up on that too. I think it's just because I wasn't catching interesting Pokemon in Shield, I think was the problem. Like, I kept thinking, like, ooh, this Pokemon would be so cool to use, and then I didn't encounter it, and I was like, oh, that's fine, this other Pokemon would be cool to use, too. But then all I could keep thinking was just like, man, this is just not a fun team. Like, I don't think it was a bad team, I think it just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. Oh, I know. That was also around the time when my sister was playing Sword, and she also picked a Score Bunny like I did. However, she didn't use her Score Bunny against the final section of the game, like, once. And the entire finale of, like, Sword and Shield story is you essentially just fight back-to-back Steel-type users. Like, almost every Pokemon you fight at towards the ending of that game is weak to fire. She didn't use her Score Bunny once. Not intentionally, she just wasn't thinking about it. And I was talking
I
to her
think
and
my Nickit was named Amber.
aw. I like Nickit. I had one on my team too. He did not get a lot of use, I will fully admit. Like, I entered the, like, champion, like, section of that game with a Thievul on my team. I think he entered one battle. But you know what? He was there. I don't actually remember his name. I feel kind of bad. But yeah, my sister just saw the perfect lineup for her Score Bunny to just flame charge everything in existence. Never once sent that thing out on battle. Was on the team the whole way
That's
through.
so sad.
Never used it. And I was like, this is, I think, literally what Score Bunny was built for. Because it's like the Charizard of that generation. Like, come on, man. And then, like, after she beat the game, I was talking to her and I was just like, oh yeah, Score Bunny makes the ending of that game, like the easiest thing in Pokemon. And she was just like, I had a Score Bunny. I don't think I used it. And I was like, but why? What did you use? And I think she used, like, 3 different Pokemon. None of them were super effective against what she was fighting. I don't remember what they were. But I was just I don't think I've ever been more confused by her decisions in a Pokemon game since. And, like, she has since replayed Sword and Shield, like, repeatedly. And every single time she gets through that section, she's like, yeah, no, fire types make that section of the game. Like, you can essentially just spam A, and as long as you have a fire type move, the game, you don't need to do anything other than just use that one move. And, like, I don't think I've actually played a lot of experiences like that in Pokemon games where I've been, like, aware of being just like, oh, this is just legitimately incredibly easy. Like, even, like, X and Y's Elite Four, I remember thinking, that my Blaziken was, like, really set up to destroy a lot of them, but I still had to swap a couple times to somebody else because I was just like, oh yeah, Blaziken's just not, like, the best for this fight. Like, one of them's a water person. But, like, even X and Y's Elite Four, which was, like, notorious for being the most, like, easy Elite Four in history, I still had to think a little bit more than I did at the ending of, Gen 8. And I think I enjoyed Gen 8 more, actually, which is weird. I don't know why the dogs are barking in the distance, but it's very distracting. And I also can never tell when their audio is getting picked up. Because sometimes it'll be the most quiet bark, and it gets picked up by my mic, and sometimes they'll be screaming for 10 minutes straight, and not once does my audio react. Man, these resets are always so much slower than I think they are. I really thought I was gonna have already done like 50. I've only done like 20.
Apparently, you can increase friendship by just gaining XP, and I have a lot of XP candy.
Oh, does that work? I didn't realize. I assumed it like when it said that you gain friendship from XP, it meant like actual battles.
I know you also gain it from catching. I just didn't know you could use XP candy.
That'll definitely save some time.
Yep.
I remember.
I've basically caught every shiny you can in this game.
Ooh, nice.
So I've done a ton of outbreaks and catch a bunch of albos, and they always drop candy.
Nice. I remember learning the hard way that traded Pokemon have their friendship set to 0 because I traded with myself with my Umbreon in my first playthrough of Platinum. So I traded my Umbreon over to Heart Gold so I could teach it a HM, or not an HM, a TM. And when I traded it back, I remember seeing that he now had 0 friendship. Like, everybody else had, like, the full hearts over their name, but he had 0, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know you wouldn't know it was me! Like, I felt so bad. Like, he hated me, he was just like, why would you do that to me after all we've been through? And I was like, it was literally me! Why are you so upset with me? He thought he was getting abandoned when the poor thing was just trying to learn, like, Dark Pulse or something. I don't think that was a TM back then, but you know what I mean? Oh, actually, I might have been using him to get an item. Because I remember looking up that there was, I had, like, 1 shiny stone, and I was like, oh, but I have 2 Pokemon on my team that evolve with this. Let me see where I get another one. And the answer was post-game, and I was like, oh. Well, I'm not entering the post-game with either a Roselia or a Togetic. I am entering the post-game with a Togekiss and a Roserade. So I just transferred myself over a shiny stone from Heart Gold. That might have been what I traded him for, actually, which is, I think, worse than trading him to get a new move. I'm hoping I at least taught him a new move while he was in that game, at least. Make the most of his time so he's not just there to pick up an item. Because if that was the case, I could have just used, like, a throwaway Pokemon. I wouldn't have needed to use a main member of my team. But also, I did not make the best choices in Pokemon when I was, like, 12, so... Oh, I hate looking at my moveset of my Sceptile from my very first playthrough of Ruby. That man brought False Swipe into the Elite Four. Fully confident. Not just False Swipe, he had False Swipe, Pursuit, I think, like, Mega Drain, not even Giga Drain, Mega Drain, and one other, like, nothing move. He might have been Leaf Blade. Maybe he had something that was good. But every time I look at him, I'm like, wow. I just saw a cool animation and decided, like, sure, we're keeping this move until the end of time. So then Pursuit just really stuck with me for no reason.
I've told you about my wish cache, right?
Yes. I don't remember the full story, but I do, like, whenever I see a wish cache, I think, like, oh, Cam had one of these.
Yeah, I did.
What was the story? I think, didn't you say it, like, earthquaked its way through the Elite Four or something like that? Or no, was it?
Oh no. It fissured its way through the
That's
battle
what
tree.
it was. That's what it was. Because I almost said, didn't it sheer cold? And then I was like, wait, sheer cold is not the right type for that.
Oh man, I need a linking cable.
I remember, I realized recently the item in Pokemon Sleep is not called a linking cable. I think it's called a linking cord. But I keep thinking that it's called a linking cable. And I think I've only
it's a cord and PLA.
Interesting! I have only exclusively referred to it as a linking cable.
Me too.
That's so weird. Like, I never would have considered that it had a different name until, like, I stopped to actually read for the first time while playing Pokemon Sleep the other day. And I was like, whoa. I didn't know that's what it was called. I'm actually going to open Pokemon Sleep because I need to feed Snorlax, and I know my alarm's going to go off in about 10 minutes anyway.
I missed breakfast this morning.
I do that a lot, yeah. I always feel really bad for my Snorlax. But hey, I finally got all of the recipes done, so I don't feel too bad when I miss a meal now. It's like, well, it's like Snorlax might not have eaten, but at least I did finish my goal of trying to get every recipe unlocked. So it kind of evens itself out. Oh, yeah, my Umbreon, not my Umbreon, I don't have one of those in this game. My Vaporeon went insane during last week's event. I think his ability activated like 10 times a day. He was just actively trying to throw food in my face, and I was like, buddy, we don't have the storage space for this.
I put 3 ingredient magnets on my team.
Oh, Lord. That is... I don't have enough storage space for my cooking pot to be able to make the most out of, that many Pokemon.
They were all skill level 1. It was like a Caterpie, a Bulbasaur, and a Eevee.
Okay, that's not as bad then. Because I think my... Let me actually check real quick. What is my Vaporeon's level? I think it's like 3. 4! Yes, okay, so by default, he gets me 14 random ingredients. During the event, he was finding, I think it was 24 ingredients? And he would find me, it would activate back to back. And he would essentially just shove 50 ingredients at me, being like, hey, here, I found this. And I was like, cool, man. The pot size is only 45. This is a little too much food. And keep in mind, I had a whole bunch of other Pokemon on my team, too, also finding ingredients. I was throwing away so much milk because, like, I had so much Eevees on my team, or so many, like, Eevee evolutions, that I was just like, alright, I guess I'm tossing, like 3, like, not 3, that's way too little, like 10 gallons of milk every, like, couple minutes, I guess. Because it's all they can find! I held on to the cocoa beans, though, because for some reason they weren't finding as many of those, it was just milk. Despite the fact that almost every, like, evolved Eevee I have can find milk, and then for its second item it unlocked was cocoa beans. I think the only one
Darkrai.
the only one that... Yeah, the only one that hasn't unlocked that is my Jolteon. He's going to unlock more milk at level 30.
Looks like I'm gonna go do the Darkrai quest.
Ooh.
That's BDSP, right?
Yes.
I guess I just had that after I did Legend stuff.
I'm waiting to do that event, because I know you can shiny hunt it.
I'm talking about the Legend Arceus one.
Oh, that version, okay. But yeah,
where
I still
it like
have...
looks at your save data.
Yeah, the weird string of connections they have between the games now of things that you have unlocked.
I like it.
No, it's not bad. It's just confusing for me to try to remember to be like, okay, you can get this Pokemon in this game, but it means you have to have save data from this other game. And like, for the most part, they all make sense. Except for like one. I think it's like... Don't you get a Jirachi if you have save data from Sword and Shield in BDSP?
You also get a Mew if you have Let's Go with
See,
save data.
But the Mew makes sense, because it's just like, oh, that's right, they did the event for Mew in Let's Go, that makes sense. Was there something with Jirachi in Gen 8 that I missed? Because there's no obvious connection between those two for me.
I don't recall one.
Maybe they just felt like it was being left out, so they're like, I know you're a Gen 3 Pokemon, that has nothing to do with the Galar region in the slightest, but we're gonna make that the reward.
Wishing pieces. Checkmate liberal.
I was not expecting that to be your comeback. I guess that would make sense. It's just, it seems like such a random, like, thing to do. Like, I will never complain.
That's where they come from, headcanon.
I would like that. That's a fun, headcanon. There's so many things that are so easy to explain away in Pokemon with a headcanon, but we have to explain it away with the headcanon because Game Freak's never gonna acknowledge it.
Yep.
Okay, I opened up the menu for Snorlax, but they never actually made a meal, so I'm gonna actually do that. I've just been scrolling up and down through the desserts. Because for some reason I've had desserts like 3 weeks in a row now.
I think that's how long I've been playing.
I did get the salads I was looking for. I got salads for 1 week, and then I've never had them since. So the game was just like, fine, take the last recipe, and then just decided you're never getting this again. I'm like, sure, I guess I don't technically need to get salads anymore. It would just be a nice option to like change things up a little bit, you know? It's been so long since I've shiny hunted that I had to move the little Trico plush off of my desk, I just realized. There's a really loud bird outside, I just realized. I thought it was the sound effect in-game, but then it kept going through the reset. Like, I fully thought that was like the sound of a Talo in the background before realizing, wait a second, that sounds a little too real.
I need
Oh,
280 more MP, whatever that stands for. Merit points. I do that.
I can't remember where I was the other day, dang it, but I was out somewhere, and I swear I heard a Pokemon cry, like, in real life, but I could not identify what it was. It was just a noise that fully sounded like a generated Pokemon cry. And I was like, weird, I wonder what that was. But then now it's been so long I can't remember, like, what Pokemon I thought it was or where I was. Man, I should have written that down. It's like, you know how, like, in games there's, like, just the random Pokemon cries in the background? It felt like it
Yeah.
was the real-life version of that, but with an actual Pokemon noise and not just an animal noise. And I was like, weird. That's not supposed to happen, like, in real life. Oh, I do remember. Okay. This was many, many years ago. But I was in, I think I was in, like, 6th grade or something. And I heard, while I was in class, the sound of someone playing, like, a video game very faintly. It was, like, dead silent as well. The class was, like, we were, like, doing a test or something. But someone would, like, you could start hearing, like, video game, like, button sounds. And the teacher, like, she could not be bothered to get up to actually look and see who was playing a video game instead of, like, quietly doing their test. Because it was, again, it was loud enough where, like, multiple people's heads started looking up around the room to see, like, hey, who was playing a video game right now? Could you maybe not? But I immediately knew what sound it was. It was the sound of someone accidentally turning the sound on their Pokewalker. And then I recognized the panic button presses of them trying to go and lower that.
You can't mute the Pokewalker.
No, but you can lower it. I do remember that being a thing you could do. Because I remember
Yeah.
there was times where I was also, like, just messing around with, like, all the different buttons and realized, oh, that raises the volume. That's not what I want.
I
So I
have
think
mine
that's
right here. It's got my Primarina on it.
nice. But yeah, I think that's exactly what that guy did in class. Accidentally, like, was just trying to check and see if there was any Pokemon he could catch, or, like, just what he could do in the game, and then just accidentally raised the volume. Oh, it
I
was...
brought mine to elementary school.
I mean, honestly, I think I put mine in my bag, but I don't think I ever actually, like, wore it. Like, I don't think I ever used it until, like, I got home. I just used it to get, like, the free points so I could have it in-game
Oh,
when I got
Gumi, I
back.
need that.
I know I brought it to camp one time, and it was one of those camps where you weren't supposed to have, like, you weren't supposed to bring your phone, you weren't supposed to bring, like, any devices, you weren't even allowed to bring, like, books with you to this camp. They were very much like, we are secluding you from the world, children, have fun for a week. But I did sneak my Pokewalker into my backpack because I wanted it in, my bag to still get steps while I was away. Because I was like, I'm not going to play it, I'm not going to break the rules, but I want this here just because this is the most active I'm probably going to be all summer. And usually that was correct, yeah. Number we at? Oh, we're almost to, 1,200.
I can't find this satchel.
Some of them I swear clip underneath the ground because they just aren't there. Oh, actually, I think sometimes they also get spawned inside bushes or stuff, so that way you just can't see them unless you're like directly on top of them. Because those things like shouldn't be very difficult to find, but some of them take like way too long.
Oh, I found it.
Nice.
I'm also playing RuneScape.
Ooh, nice.
I'm killing the corporeal beast.
I don't know what that is.
I know.
Even if that was something I have seen, guarantee I would not know it. I don't think I know the name of a enemy we fought other than scorpions. And that was not something that I was supposed to fight, so.
You know the goblins.
Oh, they actually are just called goblins? For some reason I thought they had, like, their own RuneScape version of, like, the name.
Nope.
I just
I
know
mean,
so
some of
many...
them do.
I mean, so many fantasy things fall into the trap of, like, there is no orcs, there's whatever, there is no goblins, there's this thing. Like, I get it for, like, some creatures, trying to change their names and make it more, like personal to, like, your world. But some games just get a little too confusing instead of being like... Because like, even like Legend of Zelda sometimes, I forget the slimes aren't called slimes. They're called like choo-choos. And I'm like, okay, that's
That's stupid.
a slime, man. Like it makes it just more confusing to talk about because like I'll default to calling them like the general name, but then people are like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And I'm like, please don't. Don't do this to me. Oh, this is so random. But you know something I realized about Marvel Rivals that I can't figure out how to fix?
What?
If I try to use any of my OBS like shortcuts while I have the game open, it doesn't work. If I switch tabs and open OBS, then it will work. But if I'm in the game itself, does not register. And I need to look into why because I'm very curious like what the game is doing that prevents me from doing that. But like I was just trying to test to be like, oh, let me make sure that like I can mute my friends on call like if needed, and it just didn't do that. And I was like, okay, that would make the voice chat a little bit more complicated. But like then I also realized, oh, it also doesn't mute like me as well. Like if I try to press like the one key, OBS is just like, I don't know what you did. Sorry. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna need to look into that. Because I just remembered I wanted to stream that this week, and I need to figure out why the buttons don't work. I almost thought that I missed my timer to feed Snorlax. I specifically fed him so
You
I
still
wouldn't...
haven't done it?
No, I did. That's the problem, is I did feed him specifically so I wouldn't have that fear of like, oh no, it's past the time. And then I just forgot that I did that already. Because I clicked Snorlax and then it says like, oh, the next meal is at 6 p.m. And I'm like, right. That was panic for nothing.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's been like maybe 10 minutes. Like at its I don't even think it's been 10 minutes, but like it has been such a short amount of time and my brain already deleted the memory of me feeding Snorlax and it still instilled the exact same panic I was trying to avoid. It must be nice to have a working memory.
It is.
I could never.
Yay, I can afford a linking keyword now.
What was that?
Linking cord.
It sounded like you switched your sentence to linking a K word. I think it's just the way you switched from cable to cord.
Yeah.
I was just confused. I was like, what is a linking K word? That sounds like an English term.
I hear the ice cream truck.
Ooh. There used to be an ice cream truck that would go through the park behind my house regularly. I have not heard that in a little while now. What's creepy is I have heard it since, like, the storm came through, but I didn't realize the park was open yet when I had heard the ice cream truck, so I thought it was just mysterious ice cream truck spawning into existence. But then when I went to talk to my family, I was like, hey, did anybody else hear the ice cream truck behind the house? And they were like, yeah, the park's open. And I was like, no one wanted to inform me of this because I thought this was like some sort of haunting.
This one is actually for sale.
Ooh,
It's tempting.
that is incredibly tempting. Didn't one of the Harry Potter kids buy an ice cream truck?
I would not know.
I feel like I've heard that fun fact spread around before.
I was a casual enjoyer of Harry Potter in like elementary school.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe my relationship with Harry Potter. We like we watched it a lot, but I don't remember ever I don't remember strong emotions about it. I just remember it being on and it would be something that I'd be like, yeah, I am kind of watching this, but also I've seen it before. So I'm not like really paying that close attention. It's hard to describe. I know I liked the Harry Potter Lego game that I played more than anything in the actual series, but I don't remember it very
Lego
well.
games are always incredible.
Yeah. Like, same thing for, like, Indiana Jones for me, where it's like, I don't remember the actual plot of the game, but I do remember that I had very strong positive emotions while playing it.
I played both of those.
Oh, the Indiana Jones one was so good. I know my sister and I had, like, the complete edition that had all, like, essentially all of the movies, in, like, the one, and there was also this museum you had to fill out and stuff. I remember we were attempting to unlock every single character in it. I don't know how, like, far we actually made it. I know we were making, like, some very significant progress in it, but then I think that's when we started to realize how much we also liked Left 4 Dead. And then our time started getting split between the games more. Because, you know, those two games are in a very similar category. Left 4 Dead and the Lego Indiana Jones games.
Yep. Oh man, I have to come back at night.
Oh. At this point, I feel like whenever the shiny shows up, it's going to surprise me so much, it's going to, like, terrify me for a second.
The evolution in this game is just so aggressive.
Say that again?
The evolution in this game is just so aggressive.
Oh, and Legends, the animation?
And like all the vibration it does.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they went very, like, over the top with it. I'm
Oh my
curious.
god, One Piece reference.
I'm very curious what the, thought process was behind the, like... I mean, just in general, the animation screens that they use for evolving. But I know, whenever they, like, really deviate from the regular, I'm always like, what was going on here with the, like, creative team?
And it looks like it's the power of Arceus, if I had to guess.
I can believe that. Like, they're trying to make it seem more, almost, like, mystical. Like, the act of evolving in those games. Because it's set in an older time period.
God created evolution. Debate solved, everyone go home.
Oh, I love that. I almost said it's been an hour of soft resets, but then I realized that there was so many delays. It has not been an hour. How long has it actually been? 45 minutes.
Hello, Rain.
A little over 50 resets in 45 minutes. That's not terrible, I would say. It just feels slower than I remember it being.
Amber is hunting for Trico, and I'm trying to complete my Hisui decks.
Oh, hello! So sorry I did not see your comments. Yeah, still on the hunt for this Trico. It is still being very, elusive so far. Apparently OBS doesn't want to show chat anymore, despite the fact that I literally have a thing for that.
I
I
have to
guess this is
investigate this evil rock.
I guess this is just a lie. It's not actually showing me chat. That's okay, I guess. Not over odds yet, just over odds what I thought it was going to take. Because I went into this very optimistic, so I was just like, yeah, this shouldn't take very long at all. But it's starting to prove to me that it's going to, get me a lot closer to odds than I thought it was going to.
I wonder if the shiny charm would affect that.
I'm not sure, actually. I've never looked into the shiny odds for, stuff you get before even, like, starting the game. Oh, I need to charge my phone. I just realized it's been sitting here with Pokemon Sleep open, and it's down to like 40-something. I started streaming with it when it was at like 60. I'm not like doing anything tonight, I just don't like when my phone, is like too low, because then it feels like, oh, well, if we need to leave the house suddenly, my phone's only gonna have like 2%.
Whenever he hits you, it makes you go to sleep.
Huh?
The Darkrai fight.
Oh, interesting. I've never actually fought him in that game. I know I got, Shaman in that game. Because I thought that quest
Nope, the
sounded
odds are
really
1 in
cute.
4096. 4096.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily I'm shiny hunting this in, Gen 6, not Gen 3. Doing the original Gen 3, Dream Team, that would not be pleasant. I considered doing it, very, very briefly, but then I remembered my copy is of Emerald and not Ruby with a proper battery, so I'm not fighting against like normal shiny odds while trying to shiny hunt on Emerald, so
Got Darkrai.
nice. I've always found it so entertaining when legendaries like when they stay in like the second or third Pokeball you throw. I know, I think it was Latios I was trying to catch in one of the, it was one of the Gen 5 games. I can't remember if it was Black 2 or White 2. Um, but I remember he stayed in like a quick ball, and I was like, oh, alright, you're supposed to be like really difficult.
I got the Groudon in Scarlet and Quick Ball.
I love that. Oh, actually, I remember why I remember that it was Latios is because Latios gave me a nightmare of trouble in Ruby. That man would never stay. I remember chasing him all over the region trying to catch him, but I was like 8 and I guess illiterate. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I just remember like that I loved Latios after watching the movie, and I was like, oh, he's like in my game. I want to catch that guy. And then never did. I never ended up catching him in my original copy of Ruby, but I saw that he was in, if it was in, I don't remember which of the two it was because I had both, but it was one of them, and I was like, alright, I need to do this, like, immediately now that I've beaten the game. And then it stayed in the first quick ball, and I was just like, oh, I threw that out as, like, a test. I was really expecting a grand battle here, man, but I guess I'm not gonna complain. And, you know, I've seen people actually complain that the legendaries are easier to catch in the newer games. Like the ones that are like story relevant stuff.
I kind of get it.
Like I can understand wanting like the story legendary to be a challenge. I just also think it's really important to remember that if you have to catch the Pokemon to like complete the game, like Zekrom or something, it would really suck if it had a catch rate of like in the negatives. Because that means you're sitting there fighting for your life. Not even just to lower the thing's health, but then to actually catch it as well. And I just think too many kids play Pokemon, and they would simply stop playing Pokemon if they weren't able to catch the legendaries and beat the game. I actually don't know the Koraidon. I don't think I've ever actually looked up to see what that thing's catch rate is. I remember
I don't think I've
struggling.
ever looked up a catch rate.
I know I've looked it up for a couple different Pokemon just because I was curious. I'm actually kind of. I'm gonna look that up now because I'm curious. Scrolling past the. Oh, I scrolled past the Google AI thing, but directly under that is a Reddit link that says, using an online, well, it says Gen 8 catch rate calculator, you have a 1.26% chance if the status condition is asleep and it has exactly 1 HP. So that doesn't sound great. Oh no, they're trying to use a Beast Ball. Okay, thank the Lord. Because I was gonna say, what do you mean try to catch that thing? It's asleep and at 1 HP. Okay, no, the Beast Ball does essentially give you, like, a negative chance to catch stuff, so that makes more sense.
What Pokemon are you looking at?
I'm looking
Koraidon?
for, yeah, Koraidon.
Do you know what level it was? 75?
I think they're 75, yeah. If not, like, 80-something.
What ball?
Test a Pokeball first. If you're
Status
using-
and HP?
I like to think that people would have it at 1 HP and asleep, but also I know a lot of people don't catch Pokemon with those conditions, so...
7% chance at 1 HP and asleep with a Pokeball.
horrible. It's not great by any
It's not
means,
horrible at
but
all.
it's not horrible.
It's like 1 in 13.
Yeah. Like, as long as you have the potions to, like, keep reviving your Pokemon, if it, keeps, like, one-shotting stuff, then that is definitely enough attempt to, like, actually be able to throw Pokeballs, that is. Because I know, when I was really young, I would go into battles with against legendaries without, like, I wouldn't have a level 100 team, I would just have my regular story team with me. So I would be trying to catch legendaries, like, in the 70s with level 70-something Pokemon. It never really worked. I'd usually have to take a couple tries trying to catch the Pokemon.
I Master Balled a Minior yesterday.
Can I ask why?
I didn't want to deal with it.
Of all Pokemon? The one that there's probably another one floating in the background? How Master Ball rich are you where that's a option?
Very.
That's crazy. I have never in my life had a Master Ball be like a convenience item. It's always been a, if I don't catch this thing, it's dead, and I'm never gonna get another one, item.
It's so annoying, yeah.
Golduck is free, is the thing. They're everywhere. And they
If you
come
think I'm
with damp.
catching a Golduck, you're insane.
But they have damp! Their whole thing is that explosions just don't happen. They're literally all over the map. There's a Psyduck immediately when you start the game. And you go over that little bridge, I guarantee there's a Psyduck standing there every single time you start that game.
There is, it's a static spawn.
Yeah. Like,
I don't want to deal with that though.
you just mentioned that you have a ton of experience candy, so you could evolve it like it's nothing. You could get it to level 100 and evolve it like it's nothing. This would be the, like, one of the least effort Pokemon to use to shiny hunt. Not even just shiny hunt, just to catch things.
You don't understand. You can go even less effort and use a Master Ball.
Yeah, but then you have to go through the effort of getting more Master Balls.
That's not even that hard for real.
Yeah, but it's time-consuming. More time-consuming than just getting a Golduck. You don't need, here's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
I've caught
You don't
everything.
even,
I don't need more Master Balls.
but shinies like to die very easily. For some reason, shinies are very prone to doing that.
I've got Gallade, Hypnosis, False Swipe.
Yeah, but false swipe, like, not false swipe. Hypnosis, like, never hits. I love
I just
using...
have a wide lens on.
Oh, gosh.
You're the crazy one.
I could never. I love using my Gallade, but also I feel like 90% of the battle of me trying to catch a shiny is me begging him to hit his, target.
Amber's friend, Spittin' Facts. That's what they call me.
I do have you linked in the description. I always have to remember to do that because whenever I'm copying the streams to make new ones over and over, if I accidentally copy the stream where like I was solo, I have to remember to go back and be like, wait, who's joining me now?
If you see I changed my profile picture everywhere.
No, I didn't notice.
Yep.
Is it to match the Discord one?
Yeah.
Nice. That is a very good picture.
It's on Instagram and YouTube now.
Nice.
YouTube was still the Yippee Sprigatito.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a very long time ago.
Yeah, no, that's been the picture
Like-
for
Before I met you.
yeah. Because I was gonna say you had that like, if I remember correctly, I remember seeing that on your channel during Orlando Anime Day. Why does the description not actually have a link to you? It just says at, but it's supposed to do an auto link.
Hmm.
Wait, let me open this. There's no like dashes or anything in it, or underscores, right?
No.
Weird. I don't know why it's not working then. Yeah, let me retype it. Oh, wait, never mind. It just immediately pops you up. Okay. All right, I just had to delete the name, and then it just went like, oh wait, never mind. Before you delete that, are you sure this is not who you're looking for?
Sweet.
So yeah, it should link to you now. Yeah, there we go. That does look nice. Oh, Treasure looking down at your channel. Oh, I love that.
Treasure?
Is that not your banner? It's cropped a little bit, I'll admit.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I did do that.
I was like, oh no, please don't tell me this is the wrong one and I just can't see it fully.
I forgot I did that.
You know, she's just towering down, like, looking at the whole channel. What's crazy is, isn't she like a really small cat? Like, the idea that she's like a giant is very fun.
You know what? I don't know.
I just
She's like half the size of the horses,
Oh,
but they're like
wait.
ponies, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know, like, they're like kids, but like, even young horses aren't that small, like, next to small cats. So now I'm curious, are the horses just like extra small, or are the cats like weirdly big?
I don't think they have cannon heights. I don't think they ever went that far.
I mean, that's fair. It's like all the issues that arise with thinking too much about like the Cars series. They just did things because they were just like, oh, that looks neat, and then made really weird implications for the universe.
I need to look at her next to the horse. The horse has a name. I just don't like her.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't
The
like
only
horses.
the only names I remember are Treasure, Dreamy. One of them wasn't just named Princess, was she?
No.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. I was like, that'd be a weird name to give, like, a princess's cat. It's just Princess.
You're probably thinking of Pumpkin, though.
That might be it, yeah. Because that one's, Cinderella's, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Then yeah, I think that's...
Whisker Haven.
Yeah, Whisker Haven is a kind of Disney show. It seems like it was mostly, like, a mobile game that just ended up getting, like, short segments they would play on Disney as well. But it was about, like, the princess's, like, pets. So that's why it's called, like, Whisker Haven Palace Pets. It was a strange little series. Not a bad series, because it was... I will admit it did have its cute moments. But it was also just so short, where you're just kind of just left going like, alright, I guess that happened, after every single episode.
She's sitting and she's almost as tall as the horse.
That's wild. What? How small are these horses? Or rather, how big do they think a cat is? Because they're all supposed to be like
I sent you a
essentially
picture.
like kids, right? Like that I wasn't crazy for imagining that they're essentially supposed to be like essentially like the elementary school versions of like pets, if that makes any sense.
I think they're kids, yeah. And I think the other person in chat is me, by the way.
You know, Cam typically has the stream open. Also, people like to lurk. I'm all good with that. You know, that is either the world's smallest horse, or Treasure is absolutely gigantic. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, real cats that would be that big in comparison to even a small horse. And I'm realizing, like, even, like, a bobcat or, like, a lynx is still, like, significantly smaller than a baby horse.
I have no idea what kind of cat she could possibly be.
I think... Well, I was gonna say the answer is, like, orange, but no, I'm just gonna say she's a red-headed cat, because she's definitely not, like an orange cat.
That is
She
not
is...
what I meant.
No, that's what I'm saying, though, is, like, I think she doesn't get, like, a proper cat categorization. I did not mean for that pun, it stumbled me as soon as I realized what I was saying. But I think she just is redheaded. Like, she... There's no other way to describe her other than just she is a cat that happens to have red hair.
Ariel's cat.
Yeah, that's why she's got the. That's why she's like Ginger, basically. Which I'm willing to bet money that would have been like her backup name if they didn't come up with the name Treasure. They guarantee they would have named her Ginger.
I really like that name.
It's
It's a
also
really
just
good name.
it's just so easy to use for redheaded characters. Like it's not a bad name. It's just it is the like name.
I had to look up something. There's a character called Ginger in Dust, and yeah, she's Ginger. I never even put that together.
Yep. I don't even know who pointed it out to me, but forever ago someone pointed out being like, hey, can we come up with a new nickname for redheads in media that's not just Ginger? And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. That's the only nickname they get. Actually, it might have been
The ice
something
cream truck is still here.
still? Wow. That feels like that's been a while. 'Cause I feel like the one in my neighborhood, like, it goes around like the whole park, and I'll still hear it for like maybe 10 minutes or less.
No, the cat has her own show.
Yeah. She's like the star of the show, essentially. Like, there's other ones as well who do have like spotlight episodes, but she's like kind of the main character. If I were to give the show a main character, it would be her. But it's got a very loose story, so it's essentially just random misadventures of like the Disney princesses' pets. Never the princesses themselves, just their pets.
They're mentioned like twice.
They are mentioned simply as reminders to be like, oh, by the way, we didn't forget about like the palace part of this name.
Well, they live in one. I mean,
Yeah, but like
well,
the palace,
yeah.
the palace implying that they're like royalty, they belong to a princess. Otherwise, they're kind of just in their own place most of the time. Which is weird that that exists. What do you mean there's like some alternate like dimension that all the pets can hang out in, that they can just travel to from their home? Like, I feel like
They
that
have like
deserves more attention.
peasants there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why are there pets in that world that don't belong to princesses? Are they just their own guy that just some like did they used to belong to a princess that decided they were just never gonna leave that world? What happened? Like, there's some weird implications with this series. And it always happens
So,
on accident.
episode 1 started in front of Ariel's castle, but every single episode after that has been in the pet dimension, I guess we're calling
Yeah.
it.
Like, it's just like a pocket dimension that the pets just all live in. And like they like learn lessons about like life and friendship and like how to be not the worst and not like bully people on accident. I don't know.
Sometimes the lesson is don't follow the rules, though.
True, yeah. It's so strange. And then there's also still it's like a full world as well because they like went on vacation at one point too. Like they were on like
Oh, they did
like
do that.
yeah, they were on like a cruise ship. And I'm like, how big is this world that there's a cruise ship? Which it's not like it was an episode. It was not like it was a series that like played like intentionally trying to get people like, oh, tune in to watch this. It was just something that played in between episodes of other shows on Disney because it was just meant to be like not an ad, but just I guess technically an ad. It was probably advertising the mobile game like just by existing.
Yeah, it was Disney Junior.
Yeah. It was essentially their way of trying to like minimize ads while still keeping an ad technically playing on the kids show. Because I think kids shows don't they? I think some based on the ages they're aimed at either can't have ads or they have significantly limited ads they're allowed to show. So I think that was Disney's way of being like, this isn't an ad, but also yeah, like there is a mobile game that goes along with this if you kids want to go play it. But we can't legally tell you to do that, so. Oh yeah, I meant to check.
Disney Junior did a bunch of other animated shorts in between episodes that I've just never talked about.
Did none of them stand out the same way Palace Pets did?
One of them did,
Oh,
but like it just wasn't the same.
it didn't have the same like vibe to it.
Yeah,
That's fair. I meant to check if MegaCon had any more Whisker Haven voice actors attending this year. Like
I already checked.
I did think about that. Dang it. I'm gonna guess it's a no.
It's a no.
Man, not even the same one from last year.
No, I don't think so.
Because I did see that they have Naruto and Sasuke are returning, and I know her voice actress is Sakura in Naruto. Which I must say, you probably win the prize of most obscure character brought up to her during the convention.
She didn't even know about it.
That's what I'm saying. If you bring up a character where even the voice actress is like, huh, that was me? I did that? I feel like you earn some sort of prize because you have documented proof that yes, it was her. However, she's got no recollection, not even a little.
I
Here,
feel like she was saying it's coming back to be nice.
I wouldn't be surprised, but also like it's very funny for me to think like, man, this show she recorded the lines for it, and then as soon as she walked out of that booth, her brain just hit delete, and then it did not feel like storing that info. Here, let me see. She'd probably be under anime guests.
It's Kate Higgins, by the way, if you didn't know.
I vaguely remembered it was something Kate, but I could not remember her last name, so I didn't want to say it and be wrong. Okay, I see Naruto. Because he's currently surrounded by anime girls with very different art styles than him. And it's very funny to see. Oh wait, I just realized one of them is a One Piece character. You'd probably be entertained by this. Here, yeah. I just think it's funny looking at the difference in the art style. Also, I'm pretty sure that's a picture from a game for Naruto. The more I look at it.
It's like one of the main characters.
There's a couple people who look like main characters. I just have not seen it myself, so I'm not fully confident that they're... Oh, one of them's the voice of Sanji is going. I do recognize that guy's face. Eric Vale? I didn't realize Eric Vale voiced Sanji. Really? I was a fan of him when I was like really into different anime. When I actually used to watch different shows. He was a voice actor I liked. I mean, I guess I do like him still. He's just not in anything I've seen recently.
You should ask him if he's gonna dub the Fishman Island remake.
I don't know what that means, and I don't want to. I do not want to walk up to a voice actor and ask a question with no context for what it is.
They're
the voice
taking
actor
a
for
6-month
Kakyoin.
hiatus. You go.
Sorry, the voice actor for Kakyoin is going to be there. Apparently, he's most known for Dragon Ball, but to me, he will always be the cherry boy.
I know like 3 Dragon Ball characters.
I think that might be more than me. So, good job.
One of them is the cat.
I didn't know there was a cat.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty neat then. I had genuinely... I would have assumed there was a cat at one point in Dragon Ball. Would not have assumed there was a cat prominent enough for you to be able to call it the cat. So...
You've probably seen him.
Maybe? I don't know.
Oh, hey, he's in Fortnite.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I didn't know that.
Oh, also, I just saw the question, but when I get the Trico, I think I agreed on the name Echoes after JoJo. I can't remember if I was going to go with the localized name or not, but I think I was going to go with Echoes.
Kate Higgins voicing Tails sounds familiar to me, yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think she voiced, like, the movie one?
I don't know. I know one of the actors for Tails is in Rivals at... Oh. Sorry, I just saw the cat you were talking about. One of the voices for Tails is in Rivals as Mantis. Because someone pointed out that she voices Tails at one point, and I was like, oh no, now Mantis just sounds like Tails. But I don't know which version of Tails that she voices, so let me look this up. I'm gonna assume this first result is wrong, because I can't imagine that's who I'm looking for.
Yeah, Amber.
Huh?
Did did you see the story I posted about the miles per hour thing?
No, but was it about the realization that his name is a pun? Because
Yeah.
I do love seeing people realize that his name has been a pun this whole time. I'm not even a Sonic fan, and I have known that for years, being like, oh yeah, miles per hour. Like, I've just it every single time I see people realize, like, they get so mad. They're like, "What do you mean it's been a pun this whole time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's the Sonic series. This feels like that should be expected."
I felt so stupid.
Oh, it's okay. I won't make fun of you. All I can find for Tails is Colleen, who I think is also the voice of Mantis.
Paulino Shanzi.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I would need to practice that last name. I do not want to butcher that.
I don't even know if I said it right.
I couldn't tell you.
That was off memory.
I've heard she's really nice, though. I just don't know how exactly to say her last name, and I would need a second. My big issue with pronouncing names is that when a word is long, I don't actually see it for a little bit. Like, my eyes are seeing that there is a word there, but I actually don't know what letters are in it. That's part of why I joke about being, like, illiterate sometimes, is because genuinely, I know that there are words. I don't know what they're saying. And that is one of those names where I'm like, if I tried to say that right now, it would be just sounds, and that feels mean when it's a person's name.
Can you date skip in Arceus for satchels?
Um, I don't know actually. Oh, I did find Kate Higgins from one of the shows, or it's a short rather. But it seems like for the most part in the games, it's been Colleen a lot recently.
Alison Packard was in the movie extra for it.
Oh, I must have missed that
She
one.
was Tails once.
Wait, let me scroll back up. I must have missed that. Oh yeah.
You remember who that is, right?
Well, I just clicked your page and it said Jibanyan, but I know there's another character.
Yeah, she does Giovanni.
I do actually like
She's
her as Jibanyan. No, that's
Alma
a
from Poppycat.
okay. I knew. See, I knew you were going to say Poppycat, but I was like off the top of my head, I could not tell you anything other than Jibanyan right now.
Yeah, she's the rabbit.
Oh, that's yeah. So I'm just scrolling through her roles now, and I'm realizing, wow, she was a lot of characters in
Oh
Yokai
yeah.
Watch.
Oh, Alpha Blissey. Didn't know that was a
Ooh,
thing.
nice. Oh, yep, I just I scrolled far enough to make it to Poppycat. Man,
Sweet.
it looks so funny next to the other characters. Not like because it looks bad, but just the art style is just so much more simplistic than everything else around it. And then there's also the blurriest picture from the Pixie Hollow games. You can literally count the amount of pixels for the Pixie Hollow one.
That's why it's called that.
Oh man.
I feel like I should know who Vin Diesel is.
The person?
I guess.
Sorry, I thought you were trying to talk about a character for a second, and my brain short-circuited trying to figure out, like, um, he's like a Fast and the Furious actor, I think. If I remember correctly, he's also the voice of Groot in the Guardians movies because they wanted, for some reason, super expensive voice actors to play the roles of characters who say single lines.
He said we once.
Sure.
He had 2 lines.
Yeah, okay, it was Vin Diesel. I think, okay. I'll give him a pass because if I am remembering correctly, he's also a huge nerd and that's why he's in the movie because he's just a big fan of the series. But I don't know if that's for Marvel or if it was something else and he's just because I think he likes D&D. He's also just a weird guy in general, but if I remember correctly, he's in something that's like a strange role for like an action movie actor guy to be in, and it's because he's also just a nerd. I think it might be Groot. Because you know, people are always surprised when like big muscle men that play like like actors in like action movies that don't have a lot going on in them other than just action. They're surprised when that person likes something that's not just working out. Because I know that happens a lot to Henry Cavill. People are very surprised to discover he likes playing video games and almost likes playing video games more than most things. But they're just like, no, but you're attractive. You can't have that hobby. And it's like, no, man. That's what he likes. Why are you so surprised?
Oh, I need a leaf stone.
Oh, yeah, that's a little bit vital. I'm assuming you're going for a Leafeon?
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey,
I thought they
technically
had the rock.
there is yeah, I was gonna say technically you can use the rock. It's by the giant tree. It's somewhere in that little section, like, because you know you have to like cross the bridge. It's somewhere on that section past the bridge, like by
I'll
the
look
tree.
it up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I cannot describe other than just like general where it is, but I know it's on that side of the what's it called? Like the tree. Because I have that map divided in like probably not the way it's actually divided in my head type sections. I think it might be near the Lapani, I think. Like that little like mini peninsula that it has. I think it might be on that section.
I see where it is.
Nice.
I do need a Porygon eventually, so I might just see if I get lucky with the space-time distortion.
I love seeing people get surprised by the Porygon line being in the Legends games. Just being like, what is this
Porygon
thing doing
Z.
here? Yeah, people being upset and being like, what is this thing doing here? Isn't it man-made? It's not going to exist for hundreds of years. And it's like, yeah, man, that's the point.
It's a paradox Pokemon.
Not quite, but like essentially, yeah. It's like, it's called a space-time distortion. What do you think is happening to space-time? Because, like, I
Oh
understand
my
the
god, it
character.
got distorted.
The characters in game have full reason to be freaking out. Like, I love that the Pokedex entry for it is like, this thing disturbs me. Like, that's great. I love that. That is a very fun detail. It just confuses me when people playing the game also go, this thing's existence disturbs me. And it's like, no, you should use a little, like, reading comprehension to remember what's going on in the game to know that space-time is not working. And that's why this guy's here.
I really like his dex entries that are just, I pet this Pokemon and it bit me.
Yes! There is so much, like, personality behind the way he writes. Him being just like, this thing's weird. Or this thing's, like, fascinating. Or just straight up like, yeah, this thing, like, hurt me. I'm not a fan of that. Like, this thing's messed up. I thought that was shiny, the Poochyena. I don't know why. It looked like blue for a second. And I know that's not the color
Can it
of this
be?
thing shiny, but it looked blue. Oh, hello! Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Oh, it's almost 7. Wow. Here, what number are we at? Yeah, I think I'll just keep going until it gets to 7 and then decide from there. Because my goal was to do at least 100 resets, so... I keep looking at the different voice actors that are attending MegaCon, because I know I've looked over them before, but like none of them really stood out to me. I mean, Yuri Lowenthal, but I met him last year. So I don't know. I'm only going one day, but I feel like if there's like someone who doesn't seem like they have a long line, I should try to meet at least like one voice actor while I'm going. I don't know, it just feels weird to go to a con like MegaCon and not, like, talk to any of the voice actors.
I usually don't.
Yeah, but you don't. Do you normally meet like any voice actors at any con?
No.
And that's the thing, is I normally like if there's a voice actor, even if I only know them from something like vaguely being like, oh, you voiced this one character in this one episode of a thing that I liked, I will still talk to them for like half an hour because usually it's a small enough convention where I'm the only person who wants to talk to them. So, and I'll do that. I'll just talk to them about that random thing for so long. And like, I enjoy that. It's very fun. Like actually, Ryan Colt Levy, he was at a con that I went to, and there was like it was a very like slow part of the day, so there was like no one at the voice actor tables. I talked to that man for gosh, probably like 45 minutes, just about like Squallow and Tiziano. Because if you don't know,
Ryan, you say?
yeah, he's the voice of Squallow. And it was fun just talking to him about like we essentially talked about the character, I think slightly more than the character has screen time.
Barboach is aggressive?
Huh? Wait, Barboach?
Barboach is an aggressive Pokemon?
I would not have assumed that.
Me
If,
either.
if you would ask me, I would have assumed Barboach doesn't have like the ability to feel anger.
You think his fish brain is too tiny?
No, not even. Just that it's simply such a like carefree Pokemon that it's never considered feeling anger before. Like Wishcash, sure. I think Wishcash has like multiple emotions. But Barboach, I would simply assume that thing hasn't considered that yet, and it won't consider it until it evolves.
Oh, that's an Alpha Barboach. No, that's an Alpha Whiscash.
Wait, what did I flex on accident? Yeah, and Barboach with angry eyebrows. That's what I'm picturing right now. Still no shiny. Oh, I don't consider that a flex just because, like, I didn't actually get his autograph or anything. Like, I didn't get a picture or an autograph with him. We just talked for a while. Like, when you just talk to the voice actors, it doesn't feel like you're meeting, like, a celebrity. It feels like you're just talking to someone who's also a fan of, like, the same thing as you. Now the voice actors I've gotten, like, pictures and stuff with, that feels like meeting a celebrity. But yeah, most like my favorite experiences meeting voice actors are when it just feels like you're just talking to like some guy, and it doesn't feel like you're talking to some like crazy famous person. You know, a lot of voice actors are very like down to earth as well, where it feels like you're just talking to just any other fan of the series. Because I've been going to conventions for so long that like I just have talked to a lot of voice actors, just because they just are usually like one of the like I guess main attractions of cons, I guess, for a lot of people. Um, it feels weird to describe like the person as like the main event, but I know for MegaCon that's really what they do. They have 1 billion celebrities attending, and they're like, come, spend all your money here, meet these people. We don't have anything else going on except for like the artist alley, but it's going to be not walkable. So have fun, guys.
I've got to go.
Alrighty, I'll probably be heading out in like maybe 20 minutes.
Bye bye.
See ya. But yeah, it is very fun talking with voice actors, especially like talking to them like about the voice acting industry. Like hearing about like the audition process for some characters, especially ones if it's like if it's someone who's done like really like crazy obscure roles, talking to them about the audition process. And they'll say like, "Oh yeah, I didn't even know that like this character's name." When I was recording, they just told me to do like a ton of different voices, and then they ended up casting me. Then they just ended up having me record like a couple more lines, and then turns out they put them in the game, and it's like, oh, That's kind of cool. Like, it's a very, like, very fun experience. But yeah, I do have to keep reminding my friends when they're nervous to meet voice actors to to remind them, like, hey, just to let you know, they're just a person. They're actually just another guy. Because I do get there are definitely voice actors who I felt very nervous talking to, but I just have to remind myself, like, especially like if they're really active on social media and you can see them like posting about like some of the characters they voice all the time, where they're just genuinely a fan of that character. It helps a lot to just remember, like, okay, this guy is just a bigger nerd than I am. I have no reason to be afraid. Like, it's just I really like going to conventions to just for like the community experience, and it feels like the voice actors just are a part of that community a lot of the time. Like, obviously not every voice actor is going to remember every single thing they've ever done and be actively a part of the community for it. But it's still fun to talk to them, even if they don't remember the role. Honestly, sometimes it's more fun to talk to someone if they don't remember the role. Like Cam and I were talking earlier about the Whisker Haven voice actress. That was still a lot of fun talking to her, and she was just like, wow, like that was me? Like, she was very sweet. Oh yeah, so many voice actors are just absolutely gigantic nerds. Like, I know, Jolene's voice actress for JoJo, she might be, like, the biggest fan of JoJo, just ever. It's very fun, because, like, you don't even have to talk to a voice actor about, like, the specific character they voice. You can just talk to them about, like, the series itself. And that's always very fun to do. I know I talked to her with another friend, and we talked for probably 20 minutes. I don't even think we really talked about, like, specifically, like, the part that she was in. Like, we talked a little about it a little bit, but we also just talked about, like part 3 and 4. Like, it was just a lot of fun. Oh, that's pretty cool. Even if you didn't get to meet him, that's still pretty neat. Man, I wish I remembered that guy's name. I think because I know one of my family members is a fan of him. Wait, I'm looking this up. Michael Keaton, yeah. Dang it, I can't remember, but I swear one of my family members, like, because I think he attended if it wasn't a convention, it was some sort of event thing, and he was advertised as one of the guests, and they were excited about it, but they ended up not going. I can't remember what it was, or even who it was. Like my family member. I wonder if maybe it was Spookala, because I know they get a lot of like horror movie actors, because it's called Spookala. You would expect, you know, spooky celebrities. Okay, what reset are we at? We are at 258. I'll probably go to... Wait, that's not the right number. 1258. There we go. I'll probably get to 1270, and then I'll call it for today. So 12 more. Because it is getting close to dinner time. I think that's why Cam had to leave. So I got to get some dinner, and then I also have to prepare for tomorrow's stream because I want to play something new. Or not new, but like I want to stream something I haven't streamed before. I have put too many hours into Rivals to call it a new game. Dang it. Oh, yeah, that one was a girl. I saw it for a split second before the reset went in. I don't know if I just haven't been paying attention, which is probably the case, actually. But I feel like there hasn't been that many girls this time. I like to use the girls as an indicator that, like, the slightly, like, rare percentages are still happening, so the game is considering that. Like, I know that's not how percentages work. Even if I was getting the exact same Trico 1,000 times, I would still end up getting, like, a shiny eventually, just because that's how random number generation works. But seeing the girl symbol there pop up every now and then is like, okay, cool. The game remembers that the less possible scenario can still happen. It would be nice to get the shiny. I've been doing this for a little while. I know I am still under odds, but time-wise, because of how few encounters I've been able to put in each day, it means unfortunately this has gone on for a lot longer than I thought it would. Like, I expected to still be doing the challenge by now. I did not expect to still be doing the Trico by now. Alright, a couple more encounters. Oh yeah, I have been noticing the different HP as well, like alternating between like 19 and 20. Oh look, this one was a girl with 20. Oh, I'm doing a Dream Team challenge in this game. So the idea of a Dream Team is that it's like 6 shiny Pokemon that you, yeah. Yeah, so you get the whole team of the Dream Pokemon and they're all shiny. And I will say, a couple of the Pokemon I planned for the Dream Team were like Pokemon that I just wanted to use, and then I realized I actually don't like the shiny more than the regular one, so I might just end up keeping those ones as not shiny. Which, like, I know that kind of defeats the purpose of it being, like, the shiny challenge, but I keep kind of just thinking, like, well, it's a Dream Team, so I want the team to be, like, the ideal way for me. And if that means some of them are non-shiny, I think that still technically fits the Dream Team standard, just not the shiny challenge standard. But, I don't know. I'm not taking this too seriously, honestly. Because the point of these challenges is primarily, like, you know, for it to be fun. But yeah, I think the Pokemon I get after the Trico, whenever I do get the Trico, will probably not be a shiny. But the one after that definitely will be. So even if the second member isn't shiny, 3 guaranteed to be shiny. And the third member is one that's in the thumbnail, so... Because I wanted some members of this team to be a surprise, and I wanted others to not be a surprise, so... Alright. Just a couple more. Oh yeah, when I do the non-shinies, I'll simply just catch them, and then just be, like, moving on to the next section of the game, like battling a gym or something. But I know a couple of them are very close together, so even if I'm not shiny hunting for the non-shiny specifically, I'm going to be using the same thumbnail. Just because, like, I'll probably catch the non-shiny member and then move on to start shiny hunting for the next one, probably in the same stream. 'Cause, yeah, it's not a surprise that I'm going to be shiny hunting for Skitty, and the next member after Trico is in between Trico and Skitty. So even if I don't shiny hunt it, then I'll still be, I will still be reaching the Skitty in that exact same stream, just because Skitty and this Pokemon are not far away from each other at all. My thought process has always been whenever I get the Trico, I should be able, like, my goal for that stream, unless I get the Trico at the very end of the stream, is, like, to move on far enough into the game to get to, like, Skitty. And then once I've reached that section, that's when I'll end the stream for the day. I mean, unless the Trico shines at the very beginning of a stream, then obviously I would start shiny hunting for the Skitty immediately after, and then just go for that for a little while. But with the way Trico is looking, probably not gonna get it at the beginning of a stream. Alright, 2 more. I gotta keep reminding myself. I can hear my dog begging for dinner as well in the other room. She normally eats at 7 though, so... You know, I like Delcatty shiny. I mean, Delcatty and, like, that whole line is one of those Pokemon where I like both the regular forms and the shiny forms. But because it's, like, an equal amount of love, I'm okay with shiny hunting for it. The one in the middle of, like, Trico and the Skitty that I'm gonna hunt for, I don't hate the shiny. I just realized along the way, I was like, huh, I think I do kind of prefer this one's, like, non-shiny. Which is weird, because I was like, originally I was like kind of excited to shiny hunt for it, but then I was just like, you know, I think I'd prefer this thing to like not be shiny actually. So, that's what we're doing. Alright, last reset. I have a very spoiled little dog. She's a very sweet girl, but she has been begging for my attention literally all day. I think because she knew I was gonna have to like not focus on just her for like 2 hours at some point. So everywhere I've been walking around, she's been following me. Man. Well, no shiny today, but that's alright. And I will be streaming tomorrow, also at 5, but I will not be shiny hunting Trico tomorrow. I will be playing some Marvel Rivals. I won't be doing competitive, I'll just be playing quick play, just because that's more fun, personally. But, yeah, this is a good stream. Let me start closing some stuff so my computer can run a little easier. There we go. Alrighty. But yeah, thank you guys so very much for joining the stream today. I had a lot of fun. And I hope to see you guys next time. But obviously no pressure. Did I say, I think, I can't remember if I said what time, but yeah, 5 p.m. EST is typically when I start streaming, so yeah, hope to see you guys then.